So please excuse the fact that my fingernails are slightly tinted blue and then I have a paper cut on my finger. Paper cuts happen, and I was wearing a teal nail polish and it stained my fingers blue. It was Sally Hansen Insta Dry in Retail Therapy. Just to let you know, it stains. But I said I would do 10 swatches a week, so we carry on swatching. The first color that I'm going to show you is called Pepe's Purple Passion. This one was from the first Muppets collection. And this one, once I get the bottle open, this is a sort of wine-toned color with I want to say it looks like a micro glitter running through it. At least up close, or from far away it looks like glitter. Actually, if you look up close, it is a sort of glass fleck shimmer running through it. It's a little bit larger though, like the pieces are a little bit larger. On the first coat, it does cover pretty nicely. It gives you a nice color base, and it's not at all streaky. So that is the first coat of Pepe's Purple Passion. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of this polish. It covers pretty nicely in 2 coats. I don't think I'm going to need a third. The formula is a little bit on the thicker side. It's not thick by any means, but it's opaque, so it goes opaque in 2 coats. It dries fairly shiny. It does need a top coat in my opinion because it does have that slight dull to it. But it's still a really pretty color. I feel like this is a color that not very many people talk about, nor did they talk about when it first released in the Muppets collection, that first one, because half of that collection was like glitters, and then there were shimmers, and there were so many colors to like rave about in that collection, but this one was kind of overlooked. So I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. I did say that not a lot of people talked about it, and I feel like I didn't talk about it very much either. I do like it. It's just not something that I reach for nor think about a ton from that collection. This next one is called Tease-y Does It. This is from the Burlesque collection, and I believe it was one of the darker colors from the collection. Or at least I think it's from the Burlesque collection. This is a sort of blackened purpley plum base with a bunch of glass fleck shimmer running through it. The Burlesque collection had like half shimmers, I think it was half glitters, and it was a really gorgeous collection. You can see at one coat this is a little bit on the thinner side. Glass flecks tend to be a little bit more thin, and it does provide a pretty nice base for the color to build up upon. I'm going to go in with the second coat now of Tease-y Does It, and you can see that it also is pretty much opaque in 2 coats, so I'm not going to do a third coat. Some of these older polishes were definitely really nice 2-coat nail polishes, and then with the second coat you can see that the shimmer comes out really nicely as well. So I am going to keep this nail polish. It's one of my favorite darker glass fleck shimmers. It's such a like unique polish. It's so pretty. I don't have a ton of darker glass flecks like this, and it definitely is a really nice, easy nail polish to work with. This one is called Muir, Muir on the Wall. This was also from the San Francisco collection. This is one of those darker oil spill type of colors, but it's got a brown tone to it. So instead of being like a silvery gunmetal color, it's got more of a brown sort of red, darker shimmer vibe to it. This one is, again, it's like a blackened dark brown base with a red shimmer running through it. The red goes a little bit purple and like a little bit green at some angles. Very much like most of these sort of shifty multi-chrome type of colors. It has a fairly sheer base to start with, but it builds up pretty well. So that is 1 coat of Muir, Muir on the Wall. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Muir, Muir on the Wall. And this one also adds really beautifully on the second coat, so I'm not going to need a third. And the shimmer comes out really nicely on that second coat as well. So this is the second coat of Muir, Muir on the Wall. So I am going to keep this nail polish. Again, it is a pretty unique color to my collection. I like that it is a brown tone with that sort of duochrome finish to it, and I think it's a really flattering and beautiful fall color. The next color is called Midnight in Moscow, and this is part of the Rajah collection, which is again a really old collection. Susie Says Doll was from the same collection. This is a blackened base with a red shimmer running through it. This one and the next color I'm going to have to decide between which ones I want because they are very similar. And then on the nail, they also read pretty similarly to Mirror, Mirror on the Wall as well, although that one is a little bit more brown than this one is. On the first coat, it does read a little bit sheer, but it does build up pretty nicely. So this is the first coat of Midnight in Moscow. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Midnight in Moscow, and this one does still need a third one. It's a little bit sheer still, and you can kind of still see some patches that need to be covered. So this is the second coat of Midnight in Moscow. So I'm going to go in with the third coat now of Midnight in Moscow, and this one definitely gets it fully opaque, and then the red shimmer does come out a little bit more. Since it has such a deep base, that second coat kind of gets it to its full color like potential, I guess. So the third coat really just makes it so that it covers completely on the nail. So that's 3 coats of Midnight in Moscow. So I know I said I was going to wait for the next one, but I think I actually am going to destash this one because on the nail, it does read pretty like black. The shimmer is really pretty and I know it's there, but I feel like between this and Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, I like Mirror, Mirror on the Wall a little bit more because it's a little bit more rich, whereas this one is just a little bit too like black for me, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this one I am going to destash. So this one is called Black Cherry Chutney, and this one is a little bit more of like a purple tone with that same sort of red fall shimmer to it. This one was from, I think it was called the India collection. I don't think it had like any other specific sort of like themed name other than the India collection. But this is another one of those shimmery sort of red type of colors on the nails, but it has more of a purple base to it. The shimmer in this one is a little bit stronger than Midnight in Moscow, and then in the first coat you can also see it as well. So that is the first coat of Black Cherry Chutney. So I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Black Cherry Chutney, and this one deepens up the color, makes the shimmer really opaque, and or not opaque, but really like visible, and makes the polish opaque. So I only need 2 coats of this to get to full opacity. And it's a really gorgeous, rich color. Again, I have to decide whether or not I want to keep it based on the fact that I'm going to keep Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, as well as other colors that look like this from other polishes and other brands. So that is 2 coats of Black Cherry Chutney. So this is going to go in the maybe pile that I am going to compare to all of the other colors like this I have in the rest of my collection. I just want to see how it sits with all of the other polishes from other brands before I decide on whether or not I want to destash or keep this polish. So the next color is called Royal Rajah Ruby, and this one was also from the India collection, and this is a really rich red shimmer. It has a little bit of a brown tone, which is why it's in sort of my like brown section instead of my red section on my nail polish rack. This one is a little bit sheer on the first coat, but it does supply a pretty nice shimmery base for the color to build up upon. This one is an older polish, so it has a little bit more of a thicker formula. I feel like around 2010, 2011, the formulas got really thin in OPI nail polishes, but before that they were kind of really like easily workably thicker, if that makes any sense. So that is the first coat of Royal Rajah Ruby. So I definitely just like nicked the side of my camera with my nail, but it's okay, we'll just paint over it. The second coat builds up this color really beautifully to the point where I don't need a third coat because it gets fully opaque, and then the color is shimmery as well, and just a really beautiful red shimmery color. This is one of those colors that I feel like in every TV show at some point the like main female lead wears like a red shimmer, and I feel like this is that perfect red shimmer. And yeah, it's one of my favorite darker red shimmers to wear, especially in the fall. So that's Royal Rajah Ruby by OPI. So I am actually going to keep this nail polish for now. This is going to be another polish that I have to compare to other polishes in my collection, because as much as I love it and as pretty as it is a color that's pretty easily dupable through other brands and other polishes. So this is going to be another maybe. So this next color is called We'll Always Have Paris. This is from the France collection, and this is a sort of wine-toned cream color. This is one of very many wine-toned cream colors that I have. So I already know that this is going to be in my maybes pile, but this one has a pretty nice formula. At the first coat, it is, again, a little bit sheer, but it builds up really beautifully. It gives a nice base for the color to deepen up as you layer a second coat onto it. So that is the first coat of We'll Always Have Paris. So I'm going to go in now with the second coat of We'll Always Have Paris. And as you can see, it's fully opaque in 2 coats. This one, again, is a color that I'm going to have to see if I have any others that are, you know, really similar to it in the rest of my collection. So that is 2 coats of We'll Always Have Paris. So this is what it looks like fully opaque on the nails. And again, I'm gonna wait to see if I have anything that's very similar to this in my collection. I know I do, and see which ones I like over this one, or if I like this one over those. So that is We'll Always Have Paris. So this polish is called Guys Galaxies, and this one was from that Starlight Space collection from winter of last year. This one is sort of that oxblood brown toned red color that comes out, it seems like, in every fall collection recently. It's similar to like China Glaze's Pray Tell, for example, or All a Bordeaux the Sled that I showed in the last video. This one is, you know, it has a nice sort of reddish base, and then when you layer it up, it definitely looks like a dark oxblood brown red sort of color. So that's the first coat of Guys Galaxies. So I'm going to go in with the second coat now of Guys Galaxies, and this actually covers completely opaque in 2 coats, which is a nice feature of this polish. I feel like sometimes these darker colors end up needing 3 coats because they can get a little bit streaky, so this one is actually pretty easy to work with. So this is 2 coats of Guys Galaxies. This is another one that I have to wait to see the rest of the nail polish collection to see if I'm going to keep. It's probably going to be destashed because I have so many like this. Even though it did have a really nice formula, I have other polishes like this that I'm sure that I like more, or I may like more. So yeah, I am going to destash this nail polish. We have officially come to the point of swatching my collection where my nails are going to be stained after a couple of nail polishes. So that's why my nails look pink rather than blue now. This nail polish is called Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue, and this polish forever reminds me of Holly because it's one of her polishes that she always talks about when there's a tag going around about like polish names that she loves, or just nail polishes in general that she loves. This one is like the Holly nail polish for me. And this is from the Chicago collection. This is a barbecue sauce sort of color. It is a little bit more purpley or red than your standard barbecue sauce color, in my opinion. It has that sort of berry tone to it. It covers pretty evenly in the first coat and applies a nice base to build up color upon. So that's the first coat of Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue. And this second coat is a little bit sheer, so I think I am going to do the third coat of this polish. You can see it does deepen up the color a little bit though and give it a little bit more coverage on the nail. So I'm going to go in now with the third coat of Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue. And this makes the nail polish fully opaque on the nail and then deepens up the color a little bit as well. So you get that nice sort of berry toned barbecue color sort of look on your nails. So this is, again, the third coat of Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue. So this is Mrs. O'Leary's Barbecue. I think I'm going to keep this one, even though it does look very similar to We'll Always Have Paris, as well as like Skyfall, for example, but the name itself is enough to keep it, and it is a very easy to wear, beautiful nail polish on the nails. I might put it in the maybe pile to see how it compares to other colors, but I am leaning towards keeping it. So this last color today is called Underneath the Mistletoe. This was from a holiday collection, obviously, because it's called Underneath the Mistletoe. I don't remember which one it's from. I can tell you that I bought it in desperate hopes that it would be similar to Smitten with Mittens. Whenever the promos for any holiday collection comes out, I look to see if there's anything in the promo shots that may look similar to Smitten with Mittens because it's my favorite color of all time. On the first coat, you can see that it is pretty sheer. It has a sort of pinky red base with a glitter running through it. So that is the first coat of Underneath the Mistletoe. So I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Underneath the Mistletoe. And this one really builds up the color and surprisingly makes this polish like opaque in two coats. This is one that I always apply and forget that it is opaque in two coats because it's so sheer on that first coat, but it covers pretty nicely in second coats. So that is 2 coats of Underneath the Mistletoe. So this one I'm actually going to de-stash. I have quite a few red glitters that I really like. As pretty as this one is, I think I just don't get enough use out of it to keep it. So this one is going to go in the de-stash pile. So this is the end of my 6th video. If you guys haven't seen the other ones, I will link all of them down below. If you are new to my channel, if you could subscribe or give this video a thumbs up, that would totally make my day. And then otherwise, I hope you guys are doing well.